Ladders are, well, painfully slow. And, well, actually, scaffolding isn't that fast either. But water elevators, on the other hand, water elevators are the biz. And that is why today we are going to be going over a truly simple water elevator design that you can use in almost any build. This is going to be a quick and simple video that anybody can follow to implement a water elevator into their base, and I was actually in a call with Ace Trainer Ninja the other day, who is a member of the UnityCraft server, and he asked for a little bit of help with his water elevator design, and I ended up coming up with this one. To display it and showcase it, we are going to start with magma on the bottom. That would normally suck you down, but as you can see, when you enter, you are pushed up, shot out the top, and already, as you can see, it is magma back again. Well, Fozzen, what if there's soul sand on the bottom and you actually want to head down? Well, there's an observer right here, and it will detect that and send you down right away. Now, the way this works is when you step on this pressure plate, you are actually powering this piston right here that will switch it over to be soul sand, and up at the top, when you do anything to this string right here, including stepping it, it will actually change this wall, sending a signal down and pushing the magma over. So there are fancier ways for you to actually create your water elevator, but if you just want to do it as simple as possible, this is the way to go. And actually, if we go into F5 mode, you can see as soon as I step on that pressure plate, it is an instant transition to soul sand. Up at the top, we have actually removed a glass block, and that is just to show how this works. So you'll see that this wall will push over, join onto that one, and send a signal all the way down. So as soon as we break the string, it is a quite instant transition, and it would actually be faster if this repeater wasn't here. The problem with that though is, as you can see, if we remove that repeater and we head up to the top, it will actually change to magma incredibly quickly. So if you are a Ninja Pro Master, this is actually faster for going down, having no repeater, but there is a chance that you will get stuck at the top. I suppose in that sense, you could just think of it as your skill level. The more of a ninja you are, the less delay you need. That was more or less a display of what is actually going on in this simple water elevator, but now we are going to talk about ways to send signals down, because of course you don't need to use this wall mechanic. In fact, you could quite simply run a redstone line from the top right there all the way down to the bottom, but I'm going to show you a few other nifty ways to do it. This first one is actually through leaves. Leaves actually have a state that changes based on how close they are to wood. So you can see we can send a signal down to that light using only these leaves, and that is truly snazzy. The next one is, of course, the wall mechanic that we are using when a wall joins up with this, or if you had, for example, a solid block, it will actually change the way the wall is shaped and send the signal all the way down. So you can see, we turn the light off, we turn the light on. And I love this design right here. Now, this is not the most efficient way to do it, but basically when you have a piston retracting, it is instant. So if you watch this, this first part will have a bit of delay, but it is instant retraction. You can see it did end up pulsing just because of the way pistons work, but yeah, it is instant business. So Fozzen, how do I construct this in my world? Well, first off, you are going to want to choose a starting spot, and you are just going to want to dig it 5 across like this. You're gonna have a piston on one side, a piston on the other, and then you can put these wherever you want in the middle. Doesn't even matter the order. You can see I've dug a nice little hole here so that we can see what is actually going on with the redstone, but you are going to want to add a triggering device. Now, I'm actually going to be creating videos in the future with a bunch of different cool triggering devices, and if it's that far in the future, you can check the description and they will be there, but this is going to be going into our up piston. Now, for the triggering method, you could do something like this, running redstone off the side into your piston, but that is not very nice to look at. Or you could do something like this with a torch tower, but actually an incredibly easy way to do it, which is very fast because torches have delay, repeaters have delay, is to run redstone dust like here, and a target right below the piston. You can see that is instant. But this is not an elevator. This is not an elevator. The next step we are going to want to do is construct the part that goes up. Now, this is best to do solid blocks, not transparent, that way you don't see the piston arm extending or the other block in the way. With our incredibly beautiful, totally stylish elevator built up, the next thing you're going to want to do is make sure that the water that is going to be inside there stays inside of there. So for example, you could place a sign right here, but if that is too cumbersome for you, you can just place a gate right here, and when you step on the pressure plate, it will open. After adding in the water so that you have a lovely elevator, it is time to make it so it can actually detect when a player comes to the top. So you can have the observer at foot level or at eye level, but it has to be looking towards where the stream is. Next up is put a string right there in front of the observer, and no, I did not delete the bottom part of the elevator, it just goes invisible from the floor. But out the back, you're going to want to put a piston with a wall or a solid block. It doesn't matter which, and across from that, you're going to want to build a wall that is 3 wide. Again, I want to point out that the back is totally customizable with any way that you want to get a signal down, and my choice is just using this piston, and I also decided to do it like this because it is nice and compact. So, as you can see, when we trigger this string, the wall will update, and again, the same thing. And down at the bottom, what you want to do is you want to have an observer looking into this wall. You cannot have it on the side. That actually defeats the whole purpose of what we're doing. An observer on the bottom into some redstone dust, and you can just send that right over to the piston any way you like. Again, we are going to be grabbing the target block here and putting our redstone into the observer. Now, you can have it just like this, and that would be very, very instant at the top. But the problem with that is it might actually end up sucking you back down. So you can have it like that, or add, you know, a little bit of delay. And that is about all for the basic elevator. There are lots of designs out there, and of course, you can feel free to use any that you would care to, but if this is one that you think is interesting, of course, implement it into your base. I would love to see what you do with it. You can drop pictures of that in the community Discord. You can find a link for that down below. And of course, you can always customize it, adding weird and kooky features to make multiple levels. It is totally up to you guys, but I believe that right now, this is the end of this video, and until I catch you guys in my next video, it is bye for now for me. Adios!